Okay. Call to order. Give me a roll call.
Purvis.
Here.
Garfield.
Here.
Cahill.
Here.
DeWitt.
Here.
Elliott.
Here.
Marcia.
Here.
Allham.
Here.
Walters. Here. Mayor.
Here.
None present.
Any public comments? If not, I'll turn it over to the mayor for the RP lumber.
Okay. We have several members of RP Lumber here this evening. They want to address the committee with the concerns they have as it pertains to trying to get the business open. I had a conversation with them yesterday by phone. Should be on. Get line turned up, please. I mean, okay. Can you hear out there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So anyway, they're here. They're on the agenda, so we can discuss this tonight. Present with us at this meeting tonight, like I said, representatives from RP Lumber. I'm not sure who's going to speak. For you folks, Mr. Plummer, okay. With us tonight also is Carrie Pentar from Robinson Engineering. She is familiar with some of the projects we've done here around town, and she's familiar with the review plan. Our city attorney, Frank Samutis, is here if there's any legal questions. Of course, Mr. Webster's here, and Mark Millar, Public Works Director, is here. So, having said that, I would like to think that we can keep this a civil meeting, because I know that the emotions are running high on this whole situation. And at that, Mr. Plummer, if you'd like to take the podium, we'd have to listen to that.
Sure, thank you. Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and the council members for hearing our concerns. I've got quite a few notes. I think it might be more helpful when I'm finished speaking if maybe there's any questions or anything like that. To address your one comment, I can't imagine why this wouldn't be civil. I'm Jason Plummer, Vice President of RP Lumber Company. We have 59 locations in Illinois and Missouri. And, and I'll get into a little bit of detail here in a second, but quite frankly, we've had a tremendous amount of frustration and problems getting a location opened here in Watseka. We work in a lot of communities outside of RP Lumber. We're also in the shopping center business, we're in the hotel business, we're in the residential subdivision business, we're in the multifamily apartment business, we're in the office building business. We've got over 100 properties in numerous municipalities and numerous states. Very familiar with working with a lot of different places. Quite frankly, that being said, towns like Watseka are places where we most like to be. I'm from a small town. My entire family's from a small town. Most of our facilities are in small towns like Watseka. They're as I was telling somebody on the way up here today, it's kind of the heartland of America type of thing. And so to run into a situation like this in Watseka more than caught us by surprise. This is something that I might expect in Chicago, or I might expect in St. Louis or Kansas City, but not Watseka. And I want to address maybe some things that have been stated. We're not one of those companies that comes into a community and asks for any taxpayer money. We're not asking anyone to cut corners. We're not asking anything to do anything inappropriate. We want everything done 100% above board. We pay for everything. If you go to any of our facilities, I think sometimes when people think lumber yards, a certain picture pops into their mind. 100% of our lumberyard facilities are hard surface. We're constantly reinvesting in the facilities. We take these things very seriously. All of that being said, in all the different municipalities we work with, and I don't say this lightly, the interactions we've had with the vast majority of the people of Watseka have been wonderful. It's a great town like we expected, but there's a couple folks that work for the city of Watseka that have made this the absolute worst business environment that we've ever encountered in the history of our company. And that's quite a statement considering some of the communities that we operate in. On November 1st of 2015, we had 9 lumberyards in our development pipeline that we wanted to get open. Watseka was number 1 on that list. Since then, we've opened 2 of those facilities. We expect 2 more of them to open this month, probably 1 more in May. So Watseka is quickly, frankly, going to the end of the line. And after the conversations I had with the mayor yesterday, I did tell the mayor that we would no longer be putting a facility in Watseka, Illinois. That being said, I felt it important just to come up here and inform everyone of the experiences that we've had, simply so that you guys maybe can correct this going forward. We had that conversation probably around lunchtime or so. Subsequent to that, I did talk with Ken with the Iroquois County Economic Development Company, and Ken said, look, come up here and talk to the people so that everybody kind of hears what you guys have experienced. Don't give up on Watseka, it's a great place. And I said, I agree with you, Ken, we want to be there, but it's pretty frustrating. So here I am, and you know, if we can work something out, if we can get this figured out here, and we can get a facility open in the next 4 to 6 weeks, you know, we'll do that. But we just can't continue to invest time, energy, and money in a place that doesn't seem like they want us. And more important to that, I don't want our people working in this type of environment. And what I mean by that type of environment is I've had employees called names by either city employees or third parties that have been hired by the city. People of Watseka spend their taxpayer money. I've had employees called foolish. I've had employees called imbeciles. And these are employees that have built lumber yards, that have built facilities in numerous communities around, frankly, the country. Just lumber yards in Missouri or Illinois, but it's just, it's frustrating. We had a subcontractor that we've done business with for quite a while. He had to drive down to Watseka numerous times just to get a permit, and each time he was asked to get a permit, you know, well, you don't have your certificate of liability, so you got to drive down again. So he brings down the certificate of liability. Well, you don't have this box checked. You got to bring it down again. Brings it down again. He says, well, I haven't seen your bid with your numbers on it. He said, well, it's none of your business what we bid RP Lumber Company to do the work. Well, I'm not going to grant you a permit until I see your bid. You know, that's just inappropriate. That's none of, frankly, anybody's business but ours and the subcontractor. A variance was passed back in mid-February, 7-0. When that happened, we went into your building inspector, and he said that, look, get us signed, sealed plans by a competent professional, and I'll have you a building permit in 3 days once it's reviewed. Here we are in in April. We don't have that. We've spent over $13,000 on a variety of plans, permits, and stuff, none of which was necessary at all, frankly, just to try to satisfy some people. And we did get comments back from, I believe, Robinson Engineering on the site plan, but we still, to this day, have received, it's been 2 months now, no comments back, no emails, no letters, no communication from this architectural firm that supposedly reviews these types of things for the city of Watseka. We've had, usually when we go into a community, you develop a site plan, you have the architecturals done, you have the site plan done, you do all that, you submit it to get a building permit, get a job permit, and that's what we normally go through. And here in Watseka, you know, we need a permit if we're going to lay tile, we need a permit if we're going to build a wall, we need a permit if we're going to paint something, we need a permit if we're going to move a bathroom, we need a permit, dozens of permits, literally. And well, we've never experienced that before. I don't know if people, when they build a house in Watseka, and I'm not saying this flippantly, I'm just saying, I don't know if when someone builds a house in Watseka, if you've got to get a permit for, I mean, every single thing you do. I don't know if Big R or Walmart or Hardee's or whomever, if they're going to replace flooring tile, if they've got to get a permit to replace flooring tile. It's just pretty amazing. I feel like, frankly, I think something funny is going on. I won't go any further than that because I can't imagine what it is, but I've just never experienced it before. Then we were told, you know, we did go in for some of these permits, and we were told that we wouldn't be given well, they said, you're subbing the stuff out to third parties, right? We said, yes, we're subbing it out to third parties. And he said, well, I need to see the bids with the numbers. None of your business. Well, we're not going to give you a permit until I see the bids. I have never experienced that in any community that I've ever operated in. I've had people tell me that city employees of Watseka are calling around to other municipalities, asking about us, inquiring about us, saying things about us, which I guess is fine, but you would think that they would have more things to do than that. You know, I can go into great detail on a lot of this stuff. I've got timelines, I've got things that have been requested of us, I've got just a lot of different things. And you know, if I leave here tonight with anything, I want to leave here with, I like Watseka. I've been trying to get lumber in Watseka for 3 years, okay? I was up here in January of 2013, doing site selection, working on stuff. I was very glad when this opportunity came up. We love county seat towns. We love counties like Iroquois County, cities like Watseka. We're in Taylorville, we're in Carlinville, we're in Staunton, we're in Litchfield, we're in Princeton, we're in Streeter. These are our bread and butter towns. We employ people. This facility should be open right now. It should be employing a minimum of 8 to 10 people at the beginning. Not immediately, but in a couple years, this facility should be doing a minimum of probably $4 million in revenue, which is sales tax revenue to the city of Watseka. We've spent over $300,000 for the property. We'll invest over $1 million in vehicles. We'll employ people. We'll have over $1 million in inventory. We just want to do business, and I can't imagine that the city council or the people of Watseka are aware of all this stuff, because no one in their right mind would put up with this. And we want to be here. I have no ill feelings towards anybody or the city. I don't want people to think in any way, shape, or form we're unhappy. I just think that there's one or two individuals that enjoy making life extremely difficult for people that, quite frankly, pay the taxes, that pay their salary, and probably need an attitude adjustment. And I could say a lot more, but I probably shouldn't. And I appreciate the opportunity to speak here. It's not a threat or anything like that. I'm just being sincere. I was told by my boss a couple days ago, shut it down, we'll turn it into storage, and we'll just move on and open facilities elsewhere. And I said, well, let me talk to the mayor one last time. We had a conversation yesterday. I didn't feel that it went the direction that it should have gone in. So I said, we're just not going to move forward. And then the only reason why, I guess the door is still open to this happening is because Ken, talked to me for over 30 or 45 minutes yesterday on the phone. And so that's really all I have to say. We don't want any corners cut. If anything's done wrong, the liability's on us. We don't want any taxpayer money. We're not trying to hold anybody hostage. We just want to open something, sell 2x4s, and employ people. And the existing process as it currently stands makes that extremely difficult, and that's really all I have to say. But I appreciate your time, and if there's any questions or anything like that, I'd be more than happy to answer them right now. But after the conversation with the mayor, I really don't see that we're going to be able to open the facility. But if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Go ahead. John, if you want to start, that's fine.
Just a statement, what I'm thinking is, I'm looking at, why would a business want to attract new customers, who wants to attract new customers, want to spend all that money to make the facility and start off with a bad reputation? It just doesn't seem profitable. This especially upsets me. And especially a town that's had the flood issue. There's a lot of things that, just talking to Manhattan and Mantino, they've taken on the appearance that when a new company comes into town as customer service, and they bend over backwards, not to get rid of the regs, but they bend over backwards to try and get them through the process in a quick, efficient manner and still maintain safety standards. I don't understand this. And I'm at a loss, and I don't know what to say. Other than that, I'll probably think some more things here coming up.
Anybody else have any other comments?
I just agree with John. I don't know why you guys can't open this door. I really don't get it. I think John's dead on. We should be helping you, not hurting you.
We're not asking for help even.
Well, we should make it as easy as possible to do businesses in our city.
Without
Without cutting corners, I agree. The way it sounds, you guys are more than willing to do it the right way.
We've never done it anything but the right way in any facility we've been in. The mayor mentioned liability yesterday, and I said, with all due respect, Mr. Mayor, our company headquarters is in Madison County, Illinois. It's the class action lawsuit capital of the world. There is nobody more conscientious of the liabilities and concerns that anybody would have when it comes to that type of stuff. That's probably one reason why we do things extremely above board. But, it's not just the process of slope. I mean, literally, 2 months ago, architectural plan submitted, nothing at all. And, you know, the Robinson Engineering, I think, came back with 43 comments on the site plan. Vast majority of them were not a big deal at all, but, I mean, a couple of them were just absurd, I mean, ridiculous. One of the comments on the site plan would cost over $1 million to address, and it's not even something that's relevant. Frankly, I think this stuff's getting outsourced, and like any time when things get outsourced, people have to justify the bill that they send you, so stuff just happens. And there are things on these plans that are, you know, we give them to our professionals, and they're like, what in the world are they talking about? You know, we use third parties for all our stuff. If we're going to go in and do work, it's not like I've got some guy in the back office drawing up plans. We do everything the right way anyway, you know. Somebody, it might have been, and I could be wrong, if so, you know, it might have been a conversation with the mayor. If it wasn't that conversation, it was another conversation where someone said that we were moving structural walls around or something like that. Not at all. Not at all. You know, I really don't understand what's going on here, and, you know, there just seem to be certain people here that don't care. And we're just frustrated, not because we would like to get a facility open, we would like to service this area. We're going to continue to service it, it's just Bourbonnais is going to get the sales tax revenue instead of Watseka. And I don't mean that the wrong way, but we got customers all over Iroquois County that we sell to right now, and this would make it more convenient for them. And again, I don't want to sound flip it or anything like that. I'm just saying it is what it is. And if we can't get a facility open in Watseka, I assure you we'll get another one in this area to better service the people in Iroquois County. And $300,000 plus investment, plus, you know, probably all in with labor and everything else, we're probably pushing another $90,000, $100,000, I guess, probably. You know, that's, you know, sometimes you just have to take your lumps and move on, but, you know, if I can't be sitting here in September trying to get architectural comments, I can't, you know, we've already missed the start of the big sales season for us. I mean, March 1st to July 1st, that's big to us. And, you know, I'm very concerned for the city of Watseka. I'm from a small town. Small towns are dying all over the place. We're in the state of Illinois. It is the worst state to do business in right now. If you look at,
So of these 43 items
Yes,
that Robinson Engineering pointed out, have you gone through individually each individual item and addressed it, said this will be taken care of, this will be taken care of? This, if there's just a few other items, let's address those and talk about them. It seems to me like there's just been a big communications gap here.
I don't think there's been a communications gap. I mean, when I was told that our employees were called foolish and imbeciles, I said, quit talking to them. We'll just stop the project while it's going on. But of the 43 items, we've gone through all 43 items absolutely. And off the top of my head, I would probably say 25 of them are non-issues. 3 or 4 of them, I think, are pretty ridiculous. And there's probably a little bit of clarification needed on maybe 10 of them that don't seem like big deals.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it's pretty simple stuff, but we can't do anything right now. I mean, we've got a stop order slapped on the front of the building. We don't have the architectural plans done. Right now, in a typical situation, we submit the site plan, we get the permit, and we start working. And when issues flare up, we keep laying floor tile, we keep building walls while we address a storm sewer issue, or we pour concrete while we figure out how to address the roof issue. But right now, the entire project is at a standstill. It's been at a standstill, and you know, that's the concern. We don't get any communication.
Well, can I ask, I know other communities offer or issue partial permits. Is that something that you'd be willing to do? Because one issue that we have that I understand that's kind of a biggie is this storm sewer that one building is possibly going to go over.
Right.
But there's another full building. If we can get a partial permit to get that issue,
Yeah,
is that a viable, logical thing that we could be thinking of? Let you shingle the roof, let you start the flooring and I know you're talking about multiple permits, and I know that's kind of a hassle.
It's very logical. I mean, it's very logical, and regarding the storm sewer thing, we've got a small warehouse that's placed over the storm sewer. That's one of the things that we were told, well, we've never seen that ever happen before. We built buildings across storm sewers all over the place, but there's 3 ways to solve that. You know, we would be more than happy to guarantee liability on the storm sewer. We would be able to potentially shift the building to even avoid the whole situation, or we could reroute the storm sewer at our dime.
Has that been conveyed back to the engineers and back to Robinson and us?
I know it's been conveyed back to you, I don't know about to the engineers.
I'm not.
No.
Well, I don't mean you specifically, I mean the city. I'm sorry.
Okay. I want to touch on one other issue. You and I discussed yesterday on the
Yes.
phone, the grading. You brought up the fact that part of the area had to be graded and hard surface.
Well,
You still have $1 million figure on that?
yes, correct. All of our facilities are 100% hard surface. No rock gravel, it's tough on people, it's tough on vehicles, it's tough on inventory, so we hard surface everything. And one of the things was, I mean, it's been a lumberyard for quite a while. It's been used for storage of other heavy equipment for quite a while. You know, we've done some testing on how it sits right now. What we would like to go through is top it off and then pour our concrete over the top of it. And what we were told was we have to go down, I believe, 14 inches. We've got to put in a new base, and then we've got to put in 8 inches of concrete on top of it. That's $1 million right there, and that's just ridiculous. Never heard of something like that.
Gary, would you like to address that, please?
The concrete,
Yeah, as far as scraping down 14 inches and then coming back. Is our ordinance, Marv, or?
Yeah, the ordinance calls for 8 inches in a commercial parking lot on concrete depth. But again, we've not heard anything back from your engineers since Robinson sent their review letters in.
Yeah, well, with any of the remedies that you're discussing here tonight, we've heard nothing back.
Right.
Sounds like a communications problem to me. And it has to be willingness on both sides, and I'm not saying that the city's not involved.
Yeah, we've got some involvement.
But
Yeah.
we gotta talk about that, and we could have walked through all of those items, I'm sure.
I don't doubt we could have done that, but we have literally, I mean, to do that, right, to go get our engineers, it's costing us money to do all that. We've gone through it all. We've got solutions or comments. There's a few things I said that there's some question marks. We've got solutions or we've got comments for all 43 items.
Let's get them narrowed down. Why
As
why
far
wasn't
as-
that?
In order for us to submit that from our third party, that's going to cost us more money. And until we get some clarification from this area over here, we're not moving forward with anything.
And there's been other projects that have had additional costs from multiple revisions and stuff like that. It seems like we gotta get, I mean, other people have done projects, so there's something in our process that we probably have to work out a little bit better too. I've got 2 issues that I think might be able to be resolved if the fire chief wouldn't mind. Do you mind me asking you? No. Okay, the fire department has issues in relation to an entire site being fenced in and only access point through sliding gate. Will this gate be locked? If so, the fire department will need to be approved measures laid out to them and access, It also appears that closing the southern access and only utilizing the proposed access way will cause traffic issues with vehicles, trucks, trying to get into the site. We believe it makes more sense to utilize both entrances. I don't know if that's a big issue, but as far as with the fire chief, I mean, is that something I've heard where they've done multiple locks on gates, giving the fire department a key?
Typically, what we do is 100% of our facilities are fenced in because we have inventory.
Okay.
You know,
Sure.
what we typically do is we have a knock box at each facility. The fire department has a key to it. If there's ever an issue, they get in. Regarding the other entrance, the entrance to the south, that's just a safety concern to us. That has an entrance into the bank as well. And so what we want to do is we just want to utilize, improve the north entrance, connect it to the parking lot, all on our dime, concrete it, because we don't want civilians or someone that may not be quite paying attention pulling in or pulling out of the bank with semi-tractor trailers going in and everything else. It's just a safety concern to us.
Yeah, they shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, so we just want to keep the entrance to the north just out of safety. And, you know, again, going back to the liability and all that, I mean, we try to think these things through pretty thoroughly, and that's one reason why we would disagree at that point isn't because, you know, we're trying to be obstinate. We just think it's safer to keep the entrance to the north. We would not in any way impede the access to the bank. We just would not allow ingress egress to our facility from that.